Okay, so welcome back to Goomaddy's Coins and Banknote, and it is pretty much the end of the year. My name is Glenn, and today I thought I'd do something different. So this is just a challenge that Ancient Numismatics had going, and it's the 10 best coins that you think you got in 2024. So basically, this is a hard choice for me. There's just too many, and this is coins that I have purchased in 2024 that I think, to me, are actually just a little bit special. And it's not exhaustive because if we go up, you can see we have quite a few other coins that we have purchased that I just had the cull. So I had the cull these Ceylon coins. This Sardinian 20, no, it's 5 souls. Mysore, got French with Napoleon, got some Irish coins, got the Bolivian coins. Bolivian I really enjoy, especially this one's well scented, and it is a 4 gunny from the Delhi Sultans. Here we have a square coin from the Malwa Sultans. We have a 2/3 skilling from Sweden. We have some cash from the British East India Company. Wushu coins. We also have other coins and you got Swiss coins. So it just goes on and on and on. So that's basically what I've culled from this lot. So the first coin we have is number 10. So number 10 is a coin from Saint Thomas et Principe, and that is, so this will be classed as a modern coin. It is a 20-year scudo, it's a 1-year type, and it's in base metal, so this is copper nickel, the same as the current Australian coins. And the reason why I find it special is because the colonial coinage of Sao Tome is actually quite hard to get. A lot of it is low mintage. I believe that the highest mintage might be for a 2.5 escudo, which is 350,000. Can't remember the date. But this coin here is a mintage of 75,000. So I don't find too many of these for sale. There is one on eBay. It costs about €20, I believe. And that's probably a low number. But basically, most of the time, you're not going to find any of these. And the interesting thing about the coat of arms is that the water wheel that you see on this side, so this is the coat of arms of Portugal. This is water representing the overseas provinces. And this is the coat of arms of Alfonso V. So he was the actual reigning monarch, where Sao Tome and Principe was first found. Although when it was first found, it was uninhabited. Doesn't mean it hasn't been inhabited before, just at the time period there was no people in it. And on the other side, we just have the full, or the lesser coat of arms of Portugal. And it's a rated coin. So basically, this is a hard coin to get, and I was just happy to get this into my collection. Okay, the second coin I got is what we call a Ban Liang. So this is a Chinese coin. These were first introduced into the state of Qin in about 378 during the Warring States period. And the Warring States period is quite a bloody period, and the Chinese population is supposed to have declined during that period. But even during Wang Man's period, the Chinese population was declining because of mismanagement. But this was the period in which the Qing dynasty swallowed up all the other states. So, and they also ended the Zhou dynasty, I think about 250. They deposed the Zhou emperor. He was just a figurehead anyway. And I think his name is Qin Shi Huang. He was the first emperor of a united China in 210 BCE. And these coins were minted up until, about for another 90 years, so about 1118 BCE, they were minted. Now, this quality that you can see here is actually quite good for these coins. A lot of these are a lot cruder with a lot less. of the actual inscription that you can see there. So what we have on this coin, we have Ban Liang, which just means it is a half a liang. And this coin usually weighs about 2.5 grams. So a half teal, which is a half liang, is 12 shu equals 0.68 grams, but these usually weigh a lot longer, a lot heavier. And oh, someone's dropped something. Oh, the rubbish man's here. Maybe he's going to take all my coins away. So, and they were replaced by these wushu types during the Han Dynasty, because basically I would say these are probably highly counterfeited. These ones are also counterfeited, but this one you can see it's actually a good grade, so it is more of an estate period. So you can see the rim is actually quite good, has a lot of corrosion on it, which is pretty normal, and has a cast coin, so the other side has nothing on it, and if it does have something on it, it's probably more likely counterfeit, although there are different types of varieties of this coin. So you can pick these up for about $5 to $10. Very easy to get, but it's just my second favorite coin because I always wanted one. Okay, so the third coin is actually quite a large and heavy coin, and this is a Swedish 2 öre from 1764, and this is part of the fourth riksdaler. So during from about probably 1500 to the 1900s, they have quite a few currencies. I believe they had about five or six. Can't remember. You need to look on Numista for that. And these were issued basically to prop up or revalue the actual currency. So I'm not up to date on why they actually had to change over currencies. All I know is that in 1813 Denmark went bankrupt because of this, too many adventures and wars, and I'd say this is probably also the same case, economic mismanagement and also wars. But this is an interesting coin. It just has two arrows, the crown of Sweden, 2 öre silver mint or silver money, and on the back, actually this is the front of the coin, we have the name of the monarch, so that's Adolf Frederick, and that should be Swedish for Sweden, Gotland, and I'm not too sure what these initials are. This is probably Rex, but Finland, maybe, I'm not too sure. This is the coat of arms of Adolf Frederick at the time. And also you got 3 coat of arms, 1, 2, 3, which is the current coat of arms of Sweden itself. So a large coin of 28.3 grams, 33.7 millimeters in diameter, so going that way. And it's also about 4 millimeters thick. And if you see the rim of it, this is why I like this coin. Look at that beautiful security feature on the rim. This was pretty common on thick coins of this time period. It's also a bit of a clip planchet, although it's not that much. I do have other coins actually quite bigger. And the mintage of this one, so for 1964, is about 5.496 million. So it shouldn't be too hard a coin to get. And it was minted from 1751 to 1768. So this one has 2 varieties. We need to look on the front. This one is dot after V. You can also get dot before V. I believe this one's the more common type. Okay, so the next coin we have is one that is harder to get. And this is a small coin. And it's called a Chuan of Ranfambor. I don't know how to pronounce that. Probably not too many people who are not from India know how to pronounce that coin. It's either a drama in probably Hindi or a drachma, and it has an inscription on the back, and it is Jaitasi Diva. So that's upside down. Hopefully that's the right way. Actually, it's a bit hard to tell because I'm not too familiar with this coin. I need to look it up again. But anyway, that is what the inscription says. But I'm not too sure why the inscription says that. I haven't found any online material about these coins, although they were minted between 1192 and 1300. And the ones that I've seen online, probably in better condition, and they are, well, medium, probably about $100 or so. So they are a little bit expensive. And this one weighs about 4.2 grams, it's 14 millimeters. And the first reigning monarch was Govinda Raja. And this kingdom, probably not even a kingdom, just more like a local dukedom or just a small place. It was ended by the Delhi sultans, who actually, because basically the monarchs of this time period decided they wanted to go to war with everyone. So the Hindus as well as the Muslims, they made too many enemies. So when it came time to get support, there was just no one around. So it was quite easily for them to actually be overrun. So the front of this coin has a lion. He has his forepaw raised. Looks like we have something at the top of him. And we also have look like a circle in the front. So I'm not too sure what they represent. And this one is double dotted. And as I said before, the back is inscribed. And most of these coins are all the same. And I believe this is the only coin that this monarch, so the Chahmanas, issued for this time period. So that's that was number 7. So now we go on to number. So for coin number 6, we have an God, I can't remember how to pronounce it. Abayad, whatever. Anyway, this is an Islamic coin, and I just like this coin because it has a depiction of the reigning monarch. So this was a coin issued by Al Ashraf Musa. So that's not his full name. You can actually get it on Wikipedia. He was a sultan of Egypt, but these coins were mostly produced at the mint that called Mayafaraquin, which is currently Silvan in Turkey. So I don't really have much to say about this coin, although this monarch, he was proclaimed Sultan of Egypt around about 7 AD, because he was just a puppet monarch. And then afterwards, he was dismissed. That's it. The puppet government just didn't want him anymore, and he was just let go. Obviously, they didn't kill him, which is pretty usual for the case at the time period. But his master was Izz-ad-Din Aybak. Obviously, this guy didn't consider him a threat, so there's no point really wasting your time just killing somebody. It's really not going to do anything against you. So on the other side of the coin, we just have an inscription. And no, I don't know what this actually says. I haven't found a reference book, and I haven't really looked into the actual inscription. This one is quite corroded and worn, but I would say this is probably just environment damage. So this is coin number 6, and it's only interesting just because the actual portrait, which most Islamic coins do not have. Okay, so the next coin. Okay, so the next coin we have on our list is a small bronze coin, and this is a coin from Cilicia, Armenia, or the Armenian kingdoms of Cilicia. And this is a Cadiz. It is not the largest bronze coin, but it is one of the most common, and it's worth 1/10 of a tram, which was the smallest silver coin that I found online. So for this was a period of migration of the Armenians from their current residence and former, which was like around Lake Van, to the Cilician area. So this is currently around about the north of the city of Antioch and around the coastal regions of southern Turkey. So this coin was issued under a kingdom. The kingdom was actually quite big, with the capital at Sis, and it was a Christian kingdom. So for a lot of the time it was either a puppet state of the Byzantine Empire or one of the Islamic kingdoms, so like the Ayyubids. So this coin here, the Ayyubids that we just saw before, would have circulated to the east of these Cilician coins. So this coin was minted somewhere in southern Turkey, where Silvar is, and this coin was probably minted in Sis. So it would have been 200 to 300 kilometers separating, but I wouldn't be surprised if there will be actual coin hoards of both of those coins. But I've not read up about it, so that's just a guesstimate. So this coin has the Christian cross in the center, and it has an inscription going around. So I have the actual flip, so I keep it in this flip, maybe I shouldn't, in which we have the inscription. So as card is, just on one side it says struck in the city of Sis, and that is the coin of Hetum from 1226 to 1270. So obviously he's a long lasting leader, and he left a strong kingdom. And this is on the other side, it just says Hetum, king of the Armenians. So this side would have the inscription, which would say struck in Sis. Yeah, and I can tell because it has the Sis at the end. And on this side we have a monarch, which is a bit hard to see on this coin, but this is his head up here. We have him, there's his arms, and he's probably sitting down on a chair, or sometimes like we have Mr. Musa here, he's just sitting down on the ground, but he has a scepter and he has an orb in one hand, and his other hand's pretty free, and it's a bit too low, so I'm a bit concerned about where his hand is there. And on this coin we have, looks like he has an orb as well, and probably a scepter in this hand. But if you look on Zeno, they do have a lot better images of this coin. So I'm just excited because I just wanted a coin from this kingdom. It is a kingdom that lasted from around about 1200 to 1375, and it was ended by the Mamelukes. So the Mamelukes were the precursors of the Turks, as far as I know. So if my information is incorrect, please leave a comment down below telling me how stupid I am. So when you get these coins, you find that a lot of them are actually not on a good planchet. This one seems to be quite round, but I see a lot of these Cilician Armenian coins have planchets that are actually more like oblong. Another thing about this coin is that he is described as seated on a bench, and we have two lines underneath. So Zeno only has 8 of these coins, so that doesn't indicate that it's actually scarce, but it just means that a lot of people probably just don't have this coin. So that's just something I just read about 5 minutes ago, which is very interesting. So that's my coin number 5. Hopefully I can get a better one in future. Okay, so coin number 4 is a Sasanian coin. So this one I only got 2 days ago, and I've already identified the actual monarch. So here we have the fire altar, and I don't really know that much about the monarch itself. So first thing I've done was I tried to identify the mint. So the mint is always on this side, and this says NY, which should correspond with Nemavand in Media. So this is in central part of the empire. On this side we have the date, and I've deciphered the date. It says HPTSYH. So it should correspond to year 37 of his reign. And considering that he had a long reign period from 590 to 628, so that's 38 years. This is near the end of his reign. So I'm not too familiar with Khusru II. So that's the actual Sasanian monarch. And I'll need to read up just a little bit of information about him. So here you get the monarch. You flip it over to his actual crown. And an interesting thing about these coins is that you can tell the different monarchs based on the crown that it wears. Now, I'm not too familiar with them, so I would still need to use Zeno. And also there is a stylistic variation in the crown as well. So not every crown, like every ancient coin, has the same design. So this side, the inscription is the same. On this side is actually the name of the reigning monarch. So that says Khusru. It doesn't have two. And another thing between the different Khusrus is that this one has a double border. Khusru the first has a single border, and because of the long reign of 37 years, 38 years, this one's triple border. But the later Khusru kings, they didn't have, I think the longest was about 5 years. So obviously it's not going to have a date of 37 unless it's a made up date or a fake coin. And on the side, looks like we have crowns as well, which looks similar to the crown on the top of the reigning monarch. So this is quite a nice coin. It's about 30 millimeters, which is pretty standard for coins of this type. And they weigh about 4.5 grams of silver. Although in certain time periods, I wouldn't be surprised if they were debased to a bit. So for a time period, this guy actually lost his throne to another emperor. And like a spoiled little toddler, he would have ran to the Byzantine Emperor Maurice, going, "Daddy, Daddy, I want my throne back. I want my throne back. Give it back to me. Please, Daddy, Daddy." And obviously, Maurice obliged and helped him get his throne back. And then when Maurice was murdered, he decided to go on a warpath against the Byzantines. Now, to what extent, I'm not too sure, but I'd say he would have been pretty angry that a powerful ally who would have actually kept the borders stable and would have been on good terms, would have been replaced by someone who would have made the area less stable. And there would not have been trust after Maurice was murdered. So now you have a basic knowledge of what to look for on Sasanian coins. Although there are quite a lot of variations and mints, it's very easy to understand. There's a lot of online texts and also online catalogs that you can use to pretty much look up the actual reigning monarch. Like you can look up Zeno, just look to see if the inscription's the same. And if it's the same, you don't even have to know how to read it. It's just that you have to know patterns. And then you can also, there's specific sites. I believe there's one by Baldwin's that lists all the mint marks, so you can actually get the mint marks. And they also show all the dates as well. And a fire altar is actually quite interesting. So another coin I've got is probably issued by the Huns, and this is it wouldn't be a Gandaya Pacer. They're actually more like dump coins, but this one's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy over the next few hundred years. I believe this is about 300 years after this coin. And as you can see, this is the fire altar. So it's a bit hard to know which way's up. And oh no, this is the fire altar here. Yeah. So sometimes you do get confused, but it's a fire altar because it's like the Gandaya Pacer coins. It has 3 lines and has these dots coming out the side. So this side should be the monarch, so the monarch's head. So we put them both together. So there's the ear, there's the ear. This is the main part of the face. So this part here. This will be the nose, and the eye somewhere around here. So you can see it's sorta stylized, and a lot of the features are actually taken out. if you want to get an earlier Sasanian coin, the earlier ones actually have a lot more detail. This one seems to have a lot more line features, so indicating that the artistry is declining during this time period, which, like the Roman Empire, is pretty much normal. So that's my coin number 4. I've just always wanted a Sasanian coin. Next, I'll probably try and get a bronze coin. Okay, coin number 3 is a large silver coin. This is more of a modern coin. It's the second oldest I have here, or maybe the third oldest. I'm not too sure about the age of those little roundy coins. So these ones are bullet coins from Thailand, but they don't have a mint mark, so I'm a bit curious about that. Okay, so this one is a 8 sol from Bolivia. Obviously you can tell it has Bolivia, has the Bolivian coat of arms, has 2 llamas or alpacas, whatever you want to call them, and a tree, and it has stars. So these probably correspond to the different states at the time. And we have LR, so I'm not too sure, that might be the mint mark or whoever designed the coin. And here's the actual, no, this should be the mint mark of the actual mint in Lima. So, not Lima, God, Lima's the capital of Peru. So this is what I mean. You get so many coins, you just get yourself confused. So this is not a decimal coin, so the 8 sols is equivalent to 8 reals, in which 1 scudo equaled 16 sols and 1 peso equaled 8 sols. And the smallest coin was actually a quarter of a sol. So this, and they didn't issue any bronze coins at the time. All of them were silver to some extent. I believe the lowest was 66%. And this coin would have had a silver content probably of 90.3%, which is quite high. And on the, so I'd say this is the back of the coin or the front of the coin. It just has Simon Bolivar, so he's one of the fathers of independence of all the countries in South America, except for Guyana. They didn't get independence to the 60s, and Suriname as well as Brazil, because they were Portuguese. They had a different historical context. So, and it says Liber for la Constitution, so liberty for the Constitution, I believe. And I just like this coin because it's just a large silver coin, and it has nice security features around the side, and also it has milling, but the milling is actually quite boring. Would have been better if that milling was actually on an angle, or even if it was just something like this, the Swedish coin that we saw before. Then that's just amazing. That actually makes that coin. But this coin, the actual coat of arms makes it, which is actually quite nice. And this is an 1842, if you can't read the date. And for this date, there's 2 varieties. So this is the LR variety, and there's just another variety with just the R without the L. And so that's all the information I have for that coin. Okay, the next 2 are actually very small, and they're going to be a bit hard to actually make videos on. So the only concern I have, oh no, it looks like that has a mint mark there, although it's actually quite worn. And the actual, it's not really a mint mark, it's more like, this one has something over the top of it, so that might have been it there, so I'm not too sure. So these are small silver, and they're always silver, although there would have actually been some in bronze. But silver's a lot easier to work for. And if they were bronze, they were probably just counterfeits with silver wash. And I've seen that there was probably some in gold as well. And these coins are just folded silver. They were used in Thailand for probably about 500 years, since the 1300s up until around about 1902. And the lack of really any good mint mark indicates that these might be contemporary counterfeits, or they might be modern counterfeits. But I would say, based on the toning, they're probably more older. So the Thai government did mint these under the various Rama, who is the name of the king. and they circulated along with coinage. So the Thais also issued flat coins, but for some reason, culturally, these were more popular at the time period. And I'm not too sure. I think that they'll be actually cumbersome to actually use. A lot of them don't have this hole that you see here, so you can thread this onto a string quite easily, but a lot of them just don't have that. And if you look on Numista, you can actually see quite a lot of coins and their different varieties. So this one weighs about 2 grams. So that would mean, would it correspond with 1 Fuang? And it seems like on Numista, the earliest coins they have is Rama III. Although the earlier kingdoms more than likely had their own different types which are not properly categorized. And all of the actual mint marks should correspond with a reigning monarch at the time. The silver value of these coins is only about $2.50, so even modern counterfeits would be worth making. So you need to be careful that these are actually not fake. So I just like something different for a change, and that's why I purchased these. And if you're curious, I didn't never purchase these on eBay. I actually purchased these from M.R. Roberts, which is a well-known coin shop in Sydney. And this is the description. So these are supposed to be Rama II to Rama V. So 1809 to 1904 silver, small bullet coins, so about 1.5 to 2.1 grams. And they'll sell them for $25 each, but I see that they have put up the prices to about $30. So that would go to relieve my worries that this coin is actually fake. Okay, so my number one coins that I actually purchased this year is this lot of coins. So these are coins from Indonesia. They're from Sriwijaya, and that is actually on Sumatra. It's an ancient kingdom, and these coins are relatively new, so there's not much information you can glean from the internet. The only information I can find is actually on Zeno, which a lot of these actually have just in the past year. I think a lot of the images come on in August, and it seems like they have what they call it Purna Kalasha. Gee, I don't even know what it is. And it's just a pot. So I've never actually heard of this pot. It seems like a pot of water that symbolizes fertility, wealth, and is auspicious in Hindu traditions. So I'm not too sure what they would actually use it for, but Wikipedia seems to have a good article in which I can actually look it up. And on the other side, we just have a star. A lot of them seem to have 10 rays. Some of them, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, probably 11 for that one. And these are actually very interesting. So I do have them in this little folder. I don't really want to take them out because they would fall all over the place. But as for them being counterfeit, I can see they're all different sizes, and the actual images. If they were counterfeit, they'd still be hand stamped and not cast, because the actual styles and also the flans themselves are just all too different. So I believe you can pick these up for about $10 each for now. I would say once that pot of gold is exhausted, these are probably going to go up in price. So if anyone is actually studying these, I'd actually like to know if there's more information. So anyway, that is basically my 10 coins that I have found this year that I like. Now the scarcest, what's the scarcest? The scarcest is going to be this one. And the more common coin, the Sasanian, yeah, not really hard to get, but actually quite a good design. And it's just pretty sad because I didn't get a chance to actually include a lot of other coins, like, oh, this Luca 1 franc. That is delicious. And also, maybe I'll do another video of these coins from Maldives. Maldives is just an interesting place to actually look at. It's a pity that, you know, once the sea levels actually rise, it's going to actually drown it. But I get excited over all different types of coins, like these 50 pence coins. You know, they're all different designs, they're all pretty common. But even those, you know, are just very exciting. Even this whole bunch of farthings from South Africa that I've got. I just found that there's a 1945, there's a new different variety in which they have 2 different dates with different fonts. And even when you get a really dumpy coin like this, so I need to find out where this one is from. From off memory, I can't, so basically that's it. I hope this helps you with your coins and banknote collecting, and also let me know what your best 10 coins are, and if you want to make a video, you know, just to show people around the world what is so great about our hobby. Anyway, thank you very much and have awesome coin and banknote collecting time.